Hi everyone. Here I wanted to discuss Sam Bankman-Fried, the fried bankman or banker, another nice wordplay actually, who called himself SBF on social media, hailed savior of the crypto field after it went through a rough patch a few months ago. He was also the fourth largest donor of the Democratic Party at the midterms. In 2017, he founded Alameda Research and 2 years later the FTX crypto exchange platform along with the FTT token. A few days ago, it became clear that he ran a Ponzi scheme in which he gambled with investors' money, including donations to the Ukraine, with 14 billion of its assets largely invested in worthless tokens, basically IOUs. The trading platform crashed, FTX filed for bankruptcy, 370 million of people's funds disappeared after a hack, and now the Democratic Party calls for more oversight. So we see the usual problem reaction solution cycle, which is currently applied all over the world. That increased oversight was probably always a goal, along with money laundering and fraud. So donations to the Ukraine ended up as donations to the Democratic Party. The decentralized, deflational cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin make banks obsolete. And that's a problem for the one world government, which likes all central banks collaborating and handing out digital programmable currencies, which they have absolute control over, such as for what it can be spent. There can be individual taxation, automatic penalty deductions, carbon footprint regulation, expiration dates on your money. In short, the government knows every transaction you do, so they'll try to sell it to you as universal basic income to fight inequalities in the wake of the COVID pandemic, to make it sound a bit better. So here I wanted to see, analyzing Sam's body language, which largely bypasses conscious thought, what kind of person he is. So let's get started.
And joining me now is Sam Bankman-Fried. He's the CEO of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX. You may have seen their TV ads occasionally. And one of America's youngest billionaires. And recently, he's used that money to become one of the biggest donors in this year's midterm elections.
So he was agreeing, he was nodding when he was described. So that indicates he can be quite easily influenced. He doesn't have the upper hand here.
Sam, nice to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Of course.
Of course. So that was a very passive-aggressive voice. He didn't say, thank you for having me, and so on. Not a good start.
Let me start. You're the fourth. You may not know this, but you know it now. You're the fourth.
We see immediately his nervous leg. So that's a sign of fight-flight response of the limbic system. So he is not particularly comfortable here or solid. He's ready to escape any second. So he doesn't really want to be here. He feels uncomfortable.
It was politics and not something more charitable to spend your money on.
It's a good question. And, to be clear, we have also given, I think, upwards of $100 million.
So two more things. So we see his very dark eyes. So he gives this slightly evil vibe. There's something dark about him, I would say. The second thing we immediately notice is a high-pitched squeaky voice. That's a sign of stress and fear. Effectively that he forgets breathing out. He's holding his breath. That reminds me of actually the Red John voice in The Mentalist. So that would indicate that there were traumas in his development relatively early. I would say before puberty, certainly. So around maybe 8 to 10 years old. He's sort of stuck in this age because of the trauma, and you see also how he dresses. He dresses like a little boy, like a little schoolboy. So we can read a lot into this already.
And I think that what it really goes down to is two things. And the first is that policy really matters.
Here we know that the answers and the questions are prepared. When you start speaking spontaneously, you don't know yet that you want to mention two things. A list would grow spontaneously or organically.
Right? I think COVID is one of the clearest examples of this, where
this is not a particularly likable guy.
We did not, as a country or as a world, frankly, have a coherent response to COVID. And we missed in both directions. Mm-hmm. It was careening wildly around. And we still haven't learned the lesson. Like, it's not like if a new pandemic came today that we would be ready to deal with it. That's kind of a travesty, because there probably will be another pandemic. And this is gone.
Oh my God. He's basically a little poster child or puppet or even prostitute of the deep state, promoting the lockdowns and vaccinations, basically mass murder. He also gets the vibe that he's just remembering his lines of prepared questions. He appears like a little schoolboy acting badly in a school play.
Ought to be a thing that government is involved in, that government is working proactively on, It's an one example of an incredibly important thing that society has to do. And, this is something that DC is going to have to play a big.
So we see also, and that reminds me of Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, he's always shaking his head. So his body is betraying him. This is a sign of incongruent behavior. He's always negating what he's actually trying to say in his words. So the body says, that he's lying. The truth is leaking out. He wants to be found out. And that also might have led to the crash of his trading platform.
Big role in one way or another. And
he's a con artist, obviously.
I think that doing what we can to support good policy there is one of the higher leverage things. And then at the same point, and somewhat relatedly, I think just having a constructive atmosphere in DC is incredibly important.
So first though, if the pandemic was your number one issue, you could have easily gone the Gates route, right? The Gates Foundation, and he decided that's the area, and he's been working on this for a decade.
And it's been amazing, some of the things he's done.
Yeah, it's amazing. Fantastic. It's really hard to watch, actually, this rubbish. And this guy is actually not worth the time. Let's jump ahead.
On the crypto side, the way that I view that is as I have a duty as a member of the industry to try and get us regulated, to try and move the industry in a...
Okay. The aim of this crypto guy, and he's smirking here nicely, is to get them regulated. This is the whole point of the cryptocurrency, to be unregulated, so the government is not involved. He's already displaying his overall aim here, so he's already violating the trust of the people because he's completely against the principle, or he didn't understand the principle of cryptocurrencies.
More responsible direction, and I think that requires engagement. I think it'd be irresponsible of me not to engage, with Capitol Hill, with regulators. And the things that I've been arguing for are more regulation for the industry. I think that's what's right for the country.
It's all upside down, inverted, demonic, all wrong, all lies.
I frankly don't feel like I feel confident what the right answer is there. I certainly don't feel like we've necessarily reached it as a society, though.
Well, you think every money you spend in politics should...
We can see him shaking even. So it's extreme nervousness, or he's acting like an addict. Again, also more of the flight and fight response. He feels increasingly uncomfortable.
...should be disclosed publicly. Are you comfortable with that?
I think that I think what I would say is, if there was a norm where every dollar that everyone donated in politics was to be disclosed publicly, I would have a lot of sympathy.
Awful smirk. He's using all the right words. Transparency while he's the biggest crook, a scam artist. Amazing.
Good question. And, I've been impressed actually by more people than I thought I would be. I was pretty skeptical.
You assumed the system was a bunch of idiots.
That's exactly right.
You came in here. You're not alone in thinking that when you come in.
Yep.
So the more time you've spent, so give me a couple on each side of the aisle.
I mean, I think that looking at a few things that I've been working on, right? On just the crypto regulation side, looking at the progress that the Senate Agricultural Committee has made, working across the aisle to get regulatory oversight for the industry, it's been really inspiring just to see the hard work put in there and the sort of attention on customer protection on.
His smirks, his squeaky voice, his shaking of the head, his memorized lines. This is absolutely disgusting to watch, unbearable. We see an absolutely corrupt, manipulative, evil person, mentally stuck at the age of around 8 to 10. His eyes are wide open, that's a sign of fear. He's jittery. He would probably prefer sitting at home and playing computer games. Would you trust your money with this guy? I think I conclude here. As usual, thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to reading your comments. Take care. Talk to you next time. Bye.